My name is Chris Dunback, and I am the senior government teacher at Eudora High School. I also teach an applied sociology class. It's an elective. I've been teaching this is my 20th year as an educator. 4 of them have been in Eudora High School. I taught in Mill Valley. I love Mill Valley. Huge school though, about 1,700 kids. And I come from a very small school myself. I was born and raised in a small town. And so getting back to kind of a smaller community, I've lived here for 20 years, but teaching in this community, I love it. That I literally will teach every senior, and I know every senior. So I love that. And having my kids be able to walk into my classroom and off the school bus or whatever, and then after school we go and grab a hot dog and watch a volleyball game. Like this is my home, and I think in the school, I'm raising my kids in the school, and this is a part of my basically extended family. And so to be able to have that experience here has just been the greatest. I'm a big believer in the 3 R's, they call it: the rigor, the relevance, and the relationships. When I tell people I teach politics to high schoolers, they kind of get nervous, right? Because it's such a wild issue right now. But I think it's a blessing to teach it to high school kids because these kids went to kindergarten together, they love each other. And so kind of learning that, down the road, you might disagree with someone politically on an issue, and you might remember that one of your best friends from first grade also had that belief. And sometimes people believe rigor is like having kids write 48-page papers. I don't know if that's what I would call rigor. I want kids their brains to hurt a little bit. I joke that I hope my kids walk out of my classroom confused, kind of have poison ivy of the brain. Because when you have an itch in your brain, then you're going to try to find the answer yourself, right? That you've created a curiosity in them. I don't want to tell them what to think, but I want them to learn how to think, to critically think, right? Find that cure for that curiosity in their brain by actually miraculously learning some things on their own, right? And so I love when I can pose questions to them that challenge them, that make them sit there and ponder. Relevance. I love history for history's sake. I have a library full of books about history, which I love, but I know not everybody does. And so I believe very strongly that whatever I teach the kids, they have to be able to see that they can apply it in their lives. And the last one is relationships. I believe the world's about relationships. And this is not my first career. I was actually an ICU nurse, and I've seen a lot of death in my life. And I do know, in my opinion, at the end of this journey, it's going to matter who's holding your hand at the end, right? The relationships that you have with people, the memories that you make. So that's the most important thing. So I love getting to know these kids. I tell them about my life. I share my life story with them. And I just love, I'm in the grocery store and someone says, Mr. Dunback, and I go give them a hug and talk to them about what's going on in their life. I love that. I love making those relationships that hopefully will be a lifelong